channel. If you're new here, I'm Tasneem Abrahams, the founder of the Private Practice Growth Club. As a private practice owner, setting up a Google My Business listing should be a crucial part of your online marketing strategy because it's the quickest route to be found in Google search results and Google Maps, even if you are providing home-based or telehealth services. Google My Business is also free, which is ideal if you are just starting out or if you don't have a lot of capital to invest in marketing. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up a Google My Business listing step by step. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to head over to google.com/business, and on the top right hand corner you're going to click on the sign in button. Now this is where it's going to ask you to sign in to continue to Google My Business. So if you don't already have a Google account, you are going to have to create one. I'm going to show you how to proceed with an existing account as well as a new account. So for a new account, you're going to click on Create Account and select the To Manage My Business option. Now this page can be a little bit confusing. You're going to add your details. And then you'll see it asks for your email address and you'll need to confirm that this email belongs to you. So this is where you can use an existing Gmail account. So if I to put in here Private Practice Growth Club at gmail.com and put in my password, or this is if you have an existing email account that you want to associate with your Google My Business account. But we're not going to be doing that here. We're going to assume that you don't have an account or you want to create a new Gmail address. So I'm going to click on Create New Gmail Address. And I want to say as well that I would actually recommend that even if you have got a Gmail account, that you set up a new unique Gmail address that you will use not as a primary mailbox, but specifically for any Google related things, or if you do end up having a website, so that you don't have all that information go into your primary email. I like to just keep those kind of things, and even my social media accounts for my businesses, I have it under a separate Gmail address, and that way it just improves productivity if you don't have that kind of email coming into your primary email. But that's a video for another day, and if you do want to find more videos about productivity, and I will be creating more videos around managing your Gmail inbox, then you can go and have a look at the productivity playlist on the YouTube channel. So anyway, so you're going to create a new Gmail address, and this is where you're going to put in your username. So let's say that's neemsdummydemo@gmail.com. You'd see if it's available. Yes, it's available. And then put in your password, and you're going to confirm, and you're going to say next. And it will take you through the steps essentially to set up an account. If you've ever set up a Gmail account, you'll know it asks you for a phone number, a recovery email address, your date of birth, your gender, which you can say that you don't want to specify, and then it will ask you, sometimes it asks you to verify your phone number by sending you a code that you received by text message, and once you enter it, it verifies your number and you can go to the next step. Or sometimes it goes straight to choosing your personalization settings to set up your Google profile. But I'm not going to be going through the full steps of creating an account. I'm going to click on sign in instead. So if you already have set up a separate Gmail account that you are now going to use for your social media, for your website, for Google My Business, you can now go ahead and enter that here. So I am actually going to be using an existing account for somebody whose website I created, and will be setting up the Google My Business profile on her behalf. So I'm going to enter this and then enter the password. And it will take you to this page where you can start setting up your Google My Business listing. Okay, so you're going to start by entering your business name to check if Google listing already exists, because if it does, it should be it should come up as a suggestion as part of the autocomplete function, and you should select it, as this will prevent creating and duplicating an existing listing, which you don't want, because this can be detrimental later on. So as I said, for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be setting up a listing for one of my past website clients, a business coach who agreed that I could use her business for this tutorial. Her business is called Karima Price Business Coaching, which, by the way, if you are looking for a business coach, or especially if you're in a stage where you're wanting to scale or you are struggling with work-life balance, Karima is a qualified coach with a proven track record scaling a business. So anyway, on the next step, you're going to type in the business name. So I'm going to type in here Karima Price Business Coaching. So if her business already existed on Google My Business, it would have come up here in these auto-suggested autocomplete functions, but there isn't one here. So we're going to say Karima Business Price Coaching, create a business with this name. Going to click on that, and this is when we're going to start building the business profile. Now, according to Google's policy, your name should reflect your business's real world name, and you shouldn't add additional details like your address or your service area or your services or business hours, etc. in the name of your business. Some people think that by adding those kinds of things to their name, it's better for their Google search results. And while yes, it will help your listing rank high in Google Maps and Google Search, it goes against Google's guidelines and your listing could be banned. So I wouldn't recommend it because it wouldn't be worth it. Next, you are going to choose your business category and the best business category for your primary activity. Now, this is quite important because this is going to have an impact on the keywords your listing ranks for in Google Search and Google Maps results. Now, for Karima's business, I am going to start typing in business coaching. And as you can see, there isn't really a category for that. So Google doesn't have a category for every type of business category under the sun, although they do update it all the time. So, and you can always change and add more later. But it's important to try and find the one that is most closely matched to what you do. So for example, if she was an occupational therapist, you can see there's an occupational therapist there. If she was a physiotherapist, there isn't actually physiotherapist, but you might find physical therapist because it's an American terminology. Maybe you are a speech pathologist or speech and language. They don't have, so speech pathologist would be closest, audiologist. So you basically have to start typing in what you are and find the category that is most closely related to her. So because they don't have business coach, I'm going to type in coach and see what they come up with. I've got life coach, bus and coach company. There doesn't seem to be anything around business coaching. She does kind of provide life coaching, so I'm going to select coaching center, but she can always decide later if she wants to change it to life coach rather, or as they do say on here, you can always add more later. So she could always choose both life coach and business coach. So as I said, I'm going to go for coaching center and next. You will then be asked if you want to add a physical location customers can visit, like an office. So if you run your practice from a physical location where clients come to you, like your therapy rooms or consulting office, then you need to select yes and fill in your business address details. And that will then get displayed on your listing and in the form of a red pin on Google Maps showing where your business is. If you're more of a service area type of business that delivers services to your customers, like maybe you do home visits or maybe you offer teletherapy, teleconsults, or if you are like Karima and you work from home but you don't want your personal home address to be splashed all over Google search results until you have clients that actually reach out to you and you've vetted them and you've given them, and you then give them your address. So in Karima's case, I'm going to select no and click on next. Now at this stage, you'll be given the option to specify the areas that you are able to serve your customers or your clients. And this will help visitors understand how far you are willing to go to deliver your services. So if you do home visits, you want to specify how far, what areas you typically serve. So if you work in the Sandton and surrounds, or if you work in Sandton and Randburg, and whatever areas you are willing to go out, that's the service area that you deliver service to. If you provide teleconsults and you are a South African health professional, then of course you are national, so then you can just put South Africa. And this service area will then be displayed on your listing panel in the format of an area coverage as opposed to a red pin. And as I said, you can specify countries, cities, regions, and postcodes. But just note that it won't help your listing ranking in those areas. So there's no need to add areas unnecessarily just so that you can be found more broadly. It will just help Google put the right area map on your listing. And once you're done, you can click next. So in the case of Karima, she operates in Cape Town. So I'm going to put Cape Town, South Africa. I'm going to click that and click next. Now this step is all about adding information that will display on your panel so that customers can get in touch with you. So if you have an option to add a phone number as well as a website, I recommend you add both. So in Karima's case, I'm going to just go to her website quickly. Karima Price. Okay, and check out on her contact page what her phone number is so that I can add that in. So this is her number over here. I'm just going to copy that and stick that in there. Now, if you don't have a website, you can select, there's a few options here. You can put in a link for your current website URL. You can say you don't need a website, or you can select on get a free website based on your information. And this is a Google website essentially, where Google will automatically create a web page for you. However, I won't cover this here, and I wouldn't recommend you do this without first exploring all your website options. If that is something that you want for your business is a website, don't just go ahead and create a Google website, because maybe it's not something you want in the long run. So only do this if that's what you actually want. But I'm not going to cover that in this video. That's a video for another day. Now, fortunately, Karima does have a website that I created for on WordPress. So instead, I'm going to use the website address field, which is a much better option. Now, if you don't have a website, you can also still use this link section to link to like your Facebook page, or maybe if you use an online booking calendar like Bookem or Calendly, then you can actually paste the URL of your booking form in here in the meanwhile, because this is something that you can always change later. But as I said, Karima already has a website, so I'm just going to copy her website URL and put that there. Let's take away the get in touch. And then click on next. Okay, then you will have the option to opt in to receive updates and recommendations for your business on Google. Now next, you are going to have to enter a physical mailing address of your business, as Google will then send you an actual physical postcard via snail mail, which includes a code that you need to use to verify your listing. The reason they do this is to maintain the integrity of the Google My Business listings, because sometimes you get people that build these automated bots or machines that creates multiple listings. These are like what they call black hat tactics. So in order to make sure that there is a legitimate actual physical person at the address, they require you to actually send your give your address, so that they know that if you receive the code, it means that you actually received the mail at that physical address. So you're going to enter in your physical address here. So even if this is your home address, it's, as it says here, the address you provide here will be hidden from the public. Post office boxes are therefore not eligible. So I'm going to just add in my address for now, because I'm the one who is going to be verifying the account for her. and then you're going to click on next. So here you can choose how to verify your business, but most of us in South Africa, we will all just only have the option to verify by postcard, by mail. We won't have any other option. And unfortunately, as South Africans, we typically can't rely on our postal system, especially with international mail. So what should take, as they say, up to 22 days. I've had people, clients who sometimes it's come only 6 months later, something ridiculous like that. And I do actually have a free resource that I can share with you to speed up the process a bit, but I'm not going to talk about this now. I'll mention it at the end. So for now, you want to enter your name. So I'm going to add my name here because it's going to be mailed to me. So you're obviously going to put your name with your address so that the mail will be coming to you, and then click on the word mail. And you will then be redirected to a screen confirming that the card is indeed on its way. It will be attention to me for that business, to my address, and I should expect to see it in the mail within 22 days if this was a perfect world. But like I said before, don't hold your breath. And you're going to click continue. And congratulations, your basic listing is actually now created. But you don't want just a basic listing. You want to actually optimize your listing by providing as much additional information about your business as possible to your visitors, such as your business hours. Like it says here, you can select your business hours. Like if you select open, and you can say opens at and closes at. You can add your services and lots of other things. But I'm not going to cover that now. For now, I'm just going to skip all of this, and if you want to learn more about Google optimization, I will be doing so in other videos. So if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and then the bell for notification of when I post new videos. And that's it. This is your Google My Business dashboard. Now, before I end off, I want to share with you the free resource I mentioned earlier to speed up the delivery of your Google My Business verification postcode. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called Google.Africa. Can't spell. Google.Africa118. .com/Google My Business, and it's going to take you to this website, which is a Google My Business featured partner. And because they are a partner, Google My Business featured partner, they are able to help you claim and verify your profile for free. You're going to complete the callback form that we have down at the bottom here, and they will get back to you, or you can contact them via the details down below. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I have no association with them. I've not used their service for myself because I didn't know about them the times when I actually set up profiles for myself or for clients. I wish I did know about them because we wouldn't have to have waited like 4 to 6 months for postcards. But and I know that others have had success using their service. They will probably pitch their paid services to you after you use their free service because, well, nothing in life is really truly for free, right? So you effectively become a lead when you use this free service, but you are under no obligation to use their paid services if you want to. So of course, if you don't want to go through that hassle of people trying to sell you services, it's totally fine if you want to just wait for the postcard to arrive via snail mail. If that works for you, then by all means you can do that. Okay, so as I said, you clicked on continue, and this is your Google My Business dashboard. And it's from this dashboard that you will be able to see what you've already completed on your Google My Business listing profile. And you'll see here it has a block here that says pending verification. You requested a verification card. It tells what what date you actually requested that. And this is also the area where Google will use to convey various messages regarding your listing, such as creating posts or claiming your free advertising credits, etc. And I'm not going to cover any of that today, or this dashboard today, as I think that's best covered in a separate video. Now, when you do receive your postcard containing the code, you will need to go and scroll down in the side panel over here to where it says Get Verified. And this is where you're going to enter your code and click verified. And once you do that, your Google listing will be live on Google. So before that, it's not going to be live on Google. And that's it. Congratulations. Setting up a Google My Business listing is a big first step in the right direction to get more clients. But don't expect to immediately see your results on the first page of Google. You will need to keep your listing up to date and optimize the likelihood of Google listing you in their search results. I will be covering that in future videos. So as a reminder, if you haven't done so yet, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button if you want to be notified of new videos. You can also check out the links in the description box of this video for other ways you can connect with me online. If you found this video helpful, click on the like button and share your questions in the comments. Till next time, bye bye.